Hey, what's going on? This is Kyle here. We're back with another story time, as you could say. Um, Today I'm going to be telling a story about how I nearly got busted by the cops for smoking cannabis on New Year's. So first things first, I want to point out that please do not go and try and buy cannabis, do not go and smoke cannabis. Just because I go and do something does not mean you should, right? These are supposed to be stories that you listen to and go, right, I'm not going to do what this dumbass does. I'm actually going to improve my life. Right? So, yeah, this story begins with being invited to obviously a New Year's party, right? So this was the first New Year's I didn't actually spend with my family, because I spend New Year's with my family every year, you know. We get takeout, takeaway, whatever you want to call it. And we just like get drunk usually on New Year's, but this New Year's I was invited to a party with my friends, you know, and it just so happens that there was plenty of booze, and there was a situation where I could get a hold of a lot, and I mean a lot, of cannabis. Right? That was back in the day, though. You know, I couldn't get a hold of any of it now, but I had a big bag's worth. Like, if you've ever seen, like, if you ever order anything online that's like a bag of chips, for example, if you ever get like a bag of chips, like the big bag of like Lays, or the big bags of like Sensations, it looked like that essentially. So, you know, I I bring in this fucking £100, right, or £100 worth of cannabis, weed, whatever you want to call it, right? And everybody's just swarming around me, right? You know, they're asking for joints, they're asking, like, did I make any like, cookies and stuff like that with it, any edibles, right? And don't get me wrong, at this party there was also edibles, but, again, I had nothing to do with it, right? But, so everything was going fine, smoking, all this other stuff, right? This was back in my bad era, right? You know, the stuff you're not supposed to do at a young age, but you end up doing it, right? And suddenly, right, because the music was loud, right, and we had like party girls at this party, so the music got even louder, and the singing got louder, and the dancing got louder, and we were in like a high flat, so there's like flats upon flats upon flats on top of each other. So there was loud banging, all the sorts, right? So we got a chap at the door, right? We got a knock on the door, right? And it was like aggressive, like bang, 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 bang. And this is where I shit myself, right? Because I knew straight away it was the cops, right? And like I just got the sweats. I knew that something bad was going to happen, right? So like I'm looking around for my cannabis, my weed, right? Because like it was in the kitchen 1 minute and now it's gone. So I'm sitting there panicking. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna get fucking done for something, right? Like, this is just how my brain operates. I'm gonna get done for something. I'm gonna, right? These cops wander in, right? And, like, I was just wishing that they would fuck off, honestly. I was wishing that they would just go away, right? And, honestly, like, they were literally there for, like, 25 minutes or so, and then they finally walked off, but they kept like talking to us. They kept going, yeah, we get all these noise complaints, you know how it is, we have to go to several houses like all day today and all this other stuff. Like they were just chatting shit, right? And this is where like I'm panicking in my own brain. Like it's almost like I'm about to have a panic attack here, like hyperventilating and all this other stuff, right? So anyways, they eventually leave, right? And I'm sitting there like, okay, they've left, but someone has just stolen all of my weed that I paid nearly 100 quid for, right? So I'm like walking around, trying my best not to make a scene about it, because if I make a scene about it, and especially where I'm from, if I make a scene about it, there's going to be an issue, there's going to be a fight, and I was trying my best not to get into a fight because the person who owned this flat and was running the party, right, the majority of the people there were on his side, so I'd have been ganged up by like 10 guys, and all the other females would like just like shouted and screamed. I only had like 2 friends there, 2 friends, right? So I was like asking, kind of like, you know what happened to my weed? You know, I wasn't like, yo, who the fuck has my weed, right? So it ends up, right, that I actually end up asking my friend, yo, like, did you see anyone take my weed, right? And he comes out of nowhere, right, and he pulls out like my backpack, right, like from underneath the guy's sink, right, and he opens it up and there's my weed, and he was like, yeah, I saw the cops outside when I was taking my little break outside with a couple of friends, and I ran straight back in here and I hid your shit for you. And then I was like, bro, you actually saved my asshole, right? Because obviously in my brain I thought I was heading to jail, right? So I was like, you saved my asshole, right? You know what they do to people like me in jail, right? So I was literally dabbing this guy up, and I was like, oh, please don't be doing any of that though without telling me. I nearly had a heart attack, right? And honestly, the rest of the night was pretty casual. You know, it's like one of the parties, but it's not one of those parties I would ever attend again. It was like pretty boring, you know, after that, right? But like it was just a party filled with smoking weed and all this other stuff, and I smelled like this stuff too. Like it was very difficult, right, to somehow get by everything. So but that night was crazy. A couple of side things too. I ended up getting like brought home in a trolley. We took turns and we found this trolley, and we kept like driving each other in the trolleys. We were so stoned and drunk, like, that there was like random stuff that kept popping up randomly. Like I had to like wake my friend up because he was on these like edibles, and he passed out, right? Just strictly because of the fact that he could not handle it. He was gone, as they would say over here, right? This guy would not even wake up. We were like tempted to carry him home, like in our arms. We eventually got him to wake the fuck up, man, but it was like, please don't be doing this. Please don't be doing this. Anyways, so that's the end of the story. This is kind of a bit more of a adult kind of, this could get me into some sort of trouble kind of story, telling this sort of stuff. But I feel like, you know, I see videos like this stuff all the time on YouTube, so I think it's fine to tell a story like this, and I feel like as long as it's educational to everybody, and, you know, don't do what I did, because you most likely will have something bad happen to you. Karma is a bitch. You know, all that sort of stuff. So if you enjoy stories like this that could give you some life advice, make sure you give that thumbs up. Comment down below asking maybe what sort of advice you might be needing or thinking that I could maybe put one of my stories across. And make sure you guys check out my book, Love Only Blossoms Once Every Autumn. You can get that on Author House and Amazon as an ebook and as a paperback. Right now there is a sale on Amazon, so you can get it cheaper as a paperback too. So make sure you you take advantage of that if you are interested in a romance tragedy novel. And obviously there'll be my Twitch down in the description if you want to see these gameplays uncut, because this was literally like a full hour's worth of gameplay that you're seeing right now, and I've kind of just cut it up. And my Instagram will be down in the description too, because some nights I just go out, there's a good photo or something like that. But you know, everything that needs to be down in the description will be down in the description, right? And please, right, if you like stuff from me, if you like hearing me on your screen, you know, there is the subscription button down there if you want to see more from me. Anyways, other than that, guys, I'm happy to say that this has been another successful story. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.